Okay, so this entity or this doll is connected to the Whore of Babylon. Okay, and so it has Coca-Cola. It's connected to Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is theory. They have a theory. Coca-Cola has 666 in the label. If you look it up, they'll show it to you. Where's 666 in the Coca-Cola label? Well, it's on there. Okay, and they were putting They were putting these chips inside the doll as tracking chips. I guess trying to see where the doll ended up or something like that. And so as you know, it's very common that they're saying chips are the mark of the beast and stuff. And this is a little doll. It is actually named after a demon. The name sounds the same. It looks the same as the demon. Okay, it's often depicted with both animal and human features. Okay, so it's called Labubu or Labubu. I don't know, something weird. And it sounds the same. It looks the same. And it's a Babylonian, meaning Whore of Babylon demon. Okay, so that is the entity that is attached to those dolls. Okay, so when people get up in their head, like, why are these dolls acting like this? Because it has something, it does have a satanic connotation that people weren't catching. They're like what? The reason I bought it was because it reminded me of the book Where the Wild Things Are. But it's cute. It reminds me of Where the Wild Things Are. So I bought it. And no, is what I found out. So no to that thing is king. Okay? So, anyways. So yes. So I wanted to let you guys know, like Maria Delez also brought this up, that parents, teachers, we need to be mindful about what we allow kids to play with and the toys we buy for the kids. And my in-law even brought up, there's like I don't know what it's called, my mother-in-law, and she told me that there's actually something that came out. And at first I was kind of like, well, I don't know, that's something that I would have been allowed to play with as a kid, so I wasn't worried so much about toys. But it was like this cauldron. I understand why, because it opens their minds up to it. They're like, well, it's mystical, it's magical, it's sparkly, and then they go out and they start to learn mystical, magical, sparkly witchcraft. Okay, same with like it reminds them of stars and glitter, and they go out to play in the glitter. Okay, so yeah, that's what happens. So with witchcraft and witchcraft objects, they do the magical sparkles sounds with the toys and stuff like that, and the movies, and so that's their way of, it's like a fishing lure. You see how sparkly those fishing lures are? They look so pretty. You bite the wrong fishing lure and you're in the boat. Okay, get it on the table. Okay, so don't go for the wrong fishing lures. Okay, and so that's what I'm saying. So Maria Delez also said that we need to monitor toys, we need to monitor books, and we need to monitor media. And that's what they have been ministering to me about for my family and for my future. With my family, we just started because we just got married, you know. And so yeah. So I just wanted to share that. And I'm just knocking down those altars. I met a girl and she literally identified as a Whore of Babylon. And I didn't realize this, but she is a witch. She wrote, like, her tag had 666, her financial tag, like when you said her money had that on it. And she was a prostitute. She was interested in becoming Catholic, but this is what's interesting, as a lot of these people cannot approach that church physically, because the father showed me that, like, on me. Okay, he's like, have you ever felt what it's like to not be able to enter that church? I was like, no. And we walked up and it felt like burning fire. I was like, I couldn't approach it. So he's just showing me on me what some of those people go through, is a lot of them cannot enter that church. And so he showed me too, because he was like, so many people accuse different world leaders of being antichrist and demons, and they give so much power to these people. But he showed me, like, you saw that I could just knock someone out with a look. Okay, you see people where I could speak and the person is slain in the spirit. They don't have power sometimes. A lot of these people who are world leaders, if they were really that bad, they would go. I saw like a video of this guy. He committed a murder and he stood there at trial and they sentenced him to life in prison, and then he just fell over dead. Like, he had the judgment of God on him in that moment, and he died right there before he even went into jail. And so yeah, then we have like, they could get struck with lightning. He did a lightning strike with me. This was funny, and we laugh about it. It didn't damage me, you know, so it was just funny. But so I don't know, it's just stuff we laugh about because of the Zeus comments about the churches and stuff like that. So he's like, none of those people have any power apart from the Father, and if you're afraid of, don't be afraid of any of them, because I'll show you they don't have power. So without the Father, okay. So yeah, save any person on this earth. Same thing. If they can't hurt you, nothing can harm you. Nothing will by any means harm you. You see. So, but yeah. So we're just exposing a lot of the Whore of Babylon stuff. I'm learning about this girl who identifies that as she is posing as Mary Magdalene. So that's usually how she comes in. And that's one thing that was brought to me is that there's so many men who are like, I'm gonna go save my Mary Magdalene. I mean, they're a Christian, and like, I need to go find her, you know, I need to go find my Mary Magdalene, okay? So where are you going to find your Mary Magdalene, okay? Because the Mary Magdalene was changed, okay, from the inside out. I mean, she was changed at that baptism. She had 7 demons cast out of her, and she was changed, okay? So don't go into the dark places to go find your Mary Magdalene, okay? So, I mean, sometimes it's important to save people, okay? But you don't want to get in the boat with someone that's going to drag you down. Like that girl who was posing as Mary Magdalene put the mark of the beast all over her stuff. That, by biblical law, that woman is considered now unsavable. Okay? Alright, so you have people like that. You have like different agents and stuff like that. However, I think Daddy could still save this girl, Jesse. You know, and so I don't want to say he can't save her, but just at basic level, that like, if you have to go straight by the book, that woman is unsavable. Okay, just straight by the book, okay? Now, if she gets saved, it's by a total grace move, okay? So, if she still gets saved somehow, it's by pure grace, okay? And, so, I wanted to tell you guys also, someone's saying if I'm still holding on to knowledge that I didn't share about this stuff. But really, I think it's stupid stuff, and that's why I haven't shared it. And I think it's stuff that the Father has debunked, and that's why I haven't shared it. And I also don't want you all living in fear and paranoia, like I can't go out and do anything now. So I don't want that stuff on. I don't really want you guys worried that much, like, you know. So, and that's why I haven't shared it. Y'all also think I'm an idiot if I share it with you, but it's not, you'll be like, I don't even know what I'm listening to. Alright, well anyways, so yeah. And I might do one just on finances, but I want you guys to think about that and then discern. You know, I want you to have discernment in your finances, okay? So one thing I would do, since people haven't been going to hell a lot over what's on our finances, is I want you guys to give over 10% in tithes or offerings to God, okay? So some people are like, no, the church just wants money. No, this is wherever you want it to, where you ask the Father where He wants it donated. Okay, so over 10%, just like it is written in the Bible to originally do. Where do you want to bring the first 10%? Where do you want me to bring the first 10% of this crop? And ask Him, and whatever God lays on your heart, okay? Over 10%, 11%. Tithes offerings, okay? And the poor, I don't think, are required to bring tithes. And I think the point is to eliminate greed. Okay, so if you are greedy, you know, so it's to eliminate greed. So, I would say over 10%, that's the basic tithe, is 10%. So if you would do 11%, you're a little over that mark now. Anyway, I would at least start there, but when you get better and more, it becomes more fun, and the more you start giving, you know, and it's just whatever the Father lays on your heart, okay, with that stuff. So, I don't want people running around in fear, and I don't want to cause anything like that. So, yeah, and I don't think, and I know that, what the argument is about it already, both for and against it, and I'm still going to have to look at it. I might do a video on it later, and but it's not something that the Father is given power to, is what I see. So he's basically saying it doesn't count because they started piling up stuff, and it got to the point where people were just like, no, we're just going to triple the serpent because we're over 70% Christian friendly, Christ friendly in this world. Okay, so like even with Hinduism, Krishna, Christ, okay, Christos, Christa, they say Krishna, okay, and so that's all one, like, kind of one similar idea. Then we have, so that's Hinduism, okay. Then we have the Muslim faith. They believe there is a Christ and an Antichrist, okay, just like Christians, okay. So they believe that there is a Christ, and they do follow the Christian faith, or they follow the Bible, but they read the Bible, and so they just don't believe that Christ is God. So it's just up for discussion because they believe in Christ, they just don't believe he's God, and they have a different take on the Trinity than we do, okay. Because a false prophet does not believe in the Trinity, and the Antichrist does not confess that there is a Christ. The Antichrist cannot bless Christ and stuff like that, okay. So the Antichrist doesn't give power to Christ, okay. It doesn't give power to love and salvation. So you can't get saved except by the Father of love and his Son salvation is our belief. So if you look at that in the spiritual way, like, just like, you know, there's an actual entity. I do have to declare that, like, there's an actual entity, a being of love and a being of salvation who we serve. And then we have the Great Spirit, okay. Well, no one can be saved apart from the Spirit of love and the Spirit of salvation, okay. It just makes sense, okay. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys. You only be saved through love and salvation. And so, yeah. So, love is all saving. So, yeah. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. And I just want you guys to just be aware of these random little things throughout society, because those are ways that spirits get into your homes and into your houses and into your minds and hearts. And then I don't know if I should share stuff about money. Like, look, some of our coins have Roman eagles on it. I was told the Roman eagle, and that used to be an idol to the Jews. And I don't know why our Judeo-Christian nation put this on there, but maybe someone will tell me why. But it has these little Roman eagles on it. Then we have, I was told by a mystery spirit, okay, so three bobs are nail. The bob means nail in Hebrew, okay, so there's three bobs. They're like, I don't know if this is, like, a mystery spirit said these are three species, represents how they have the species during Sukkot, okay, and there's three of them, and they're very straight, up and down, with a little thing on top, like the Vav. Three Vavs, three nails, see? And Vav adds up to 6, or 666. I don't know if that, I mean, it was a spirit, the mystery spirit told me that. I was like, I don't know if that's right or not. You know, I was like, it looks like that now that they told me that. I was like, it looks like that, but I don't know, you know, so I decided to kind of collect the coins in a jar, give them to the poor by, like, you know, like, what I'm going to do is I'm probably just going to collect these as unusable and put it in a jar, basically being unusable, and then put that on, like, a gift card for the poor instead. You see? That was a good idea. Because I'm just going to call those unusable for me. Then we have $1 bills, have the Star of David on it. A lot of people say the Star of David has the number on it. So And so that's what I thought was interesting, that they wanted to put something similar to it on our $1 bills. So I consider the $1 bill kind of unusable for me. So it's one of those ones I would set aside into the unusable pile and put that eventually on a gift card for the poor. So yeah. Then, okay, so next I wanted to share, and this is one I didn't really want to share, but I am willing to share. Okay, so like, they said that this is debunked. It's a conspiracy theory, okay? And so this one is this is a conspiracy theory. I don't know if I'm just giving power to conspiracy theory. So this one is the USA barcodes. So GS1 is the one who made it. GS1 is what's it called? If you read it, GS1, Jesus 1. Okay. Now we need to step up and use the real name Yahushua or Yeshua. Okay. Not Jesus, but there's different ways you can spell Jesus. I think I explained that in one of my videos. And so I use the name Yahushua, and if I need to translate, I'll say Jesus without using the vowels. Then, okay, so with the barcodes, you have like something like once you see it, you can't unsee it, really. And I don't know if I have, and I can't really explain it away. You know, no matter how many times people say it's just a conspiracy theory, I can't really explain it away. Is what's so awful about it. But anyways, so the two double lines is basically a blank. Okay, so 0, 0, 0. Okay, it's just the guide bars. It doesn't actually have a numerical value. So they say it doesn't have a numerical value. That means 0, 0, 0. Okay, blanked out, blanked out, blanked out for zero dinero. Because this is also Morse code, U.S. code. Okay, U.S. Morse code, military style Morse code. So GS1, Jesus 1, 0 dinero. Okay, 0 Nero. There's no Nero here. But also when you buy this product, you're going to have 0 dinero. Okay, so now that I know that, I'm like, hey, they're definitely saying something there. And they're all saying conspiracy, you know, they're saying something. And so the thing is, it is and isn't a 6. Okay, so it made it look like the number 6, but it doesn't have a numerical value. So it looks like 6, but isn't 6. Okay, so I don't know what to think about that. Then some of them, let's see, like these, I don't know why, but some of like these have 3, like the 3 Vovs right there, 1, 2, 3, because you could write Vov without a tag on it, just a straight line. That's what I was telling you guys. So I was like, I don't know if I want to share it with people or if I'm just breathing into conspiracy theories. But I can't escape the idea that that's what that means. Okay, like the more I look at it, I'm like, no, that's what that means. And you're like, so yeah, I don't know. And then I look, I think they're trying to say they're not one with that, and they are staying out of that. And so yeah, I think it triggers a lot of people. Okay, whether they mean it like in a righteous way or an unrighteous way. I want to say they're trying to be unrighteous. You know, I want to jump to that and say that, but I can't say that. You know, because they might actually just be making fun of the evil spirit. Because it's a Christian nation, Protestant Christian nation. You see, so I can't accuse them of it necessarily doing anything. But what I can say is there's a lot of people with mental health issues in this nation, and we really don't need people freaking out and in fear. So what we need to do is petition maybe for a change in that system. And if you look up, they have lots of different kinds. Just look up types of barcodes. All they have to do is change the type of barcode they use. I don't want people in fear. I don't want, we have school shootings. I don't think school shootings usually happen over stuff like that. I don't think school shootings happen over stuff like that. I think the government shootings happen because of stuff like that. I think that the riots, like the riot over in at the Capitol, I think that's one of the reasons that happened. That's one of the reasons, like, people are seeing that stuff, you know, and they don't like being bullied, and they don't like being bullied by our government. And we love our government, you know, we love this nation. But, you know, a lot of us are, you know, trying to heal So, but really what Christ showed me is when you're battling that spirit is the spirit of access. You don't want to go to spirit of access. Baal Peor is also linked to the spirit of access. That's how you knock that down. So you want to make sure that you aren't living in access, you're not living in greed, and that you are humble and coming and always sharing, always loving. And so that's what you gotta do to knock down, really, if you want to knock that stuff down. And then if you want to get to where you don't, what I would do is I would make it so that you're not reliant on the government anymore. Okay, like you don't have to go to the grocery store anymore. Okay, you need to make a garden, and you need to learn how to fish. Okay, you just get hunting, fishing supplies, hunt, fish, and grow veggies, and just stock up on that stuff. If you want to get to the point where you don't need those people anyway, and I would be on well water, not like system water. You know, if I had a choice, and you know, if you have a choice, try for well water, and you don't want to have to go out and buy water. Okay. So I just wanted to share it with you guys. But a lot of stuff you don't really need that stuff for. Like you don't need barcodes to buy. So a lot of times, like you get food at the grocery, you can get food. You can check what kind of barcode it says. You read the barcodes if you really wanted to, or like a lot of times you can just go out to eat at a restaurant. You could also go out to eat at a restaurant. You could you don't really need a lot of barcodes at restaurants. You don't see a lot of barcodes at restaurants except for maybe at the bottom of a receipt, but it doesn't have that type, like the 3 bob type, or you know. So yeah, it's pretty. That is one way you can avoid that. And then mom and pops type stores, like you go to a vintage store or antique stores, they don't really use that stuff. It's all hand done. It's all hand done, you know. So if you want, it's like they'll have a sticker on it, with the price of it. Sometimes you could, it's just buy, selling, and trade, and sometimes you could just get into trade with people too. Justin does trade. He trades. He has a friend that he trades with. But yeah. So the others say don't live in excess, and when you think about it, there's a lot of stuff that I just get overwhelmed. Like I was getting overwhelmed looking at how much stuff. Like you go to the store, I'm like, well, what happens to all this stuff? You know, because it just ends up in a landfill, and a lot of times it just ends up in a landfill. So. That's what the father of his ministry we adjust about. He's a trash guy, so he's like reduce, reuse, recycle. I'm like, well, there's a lot of, and even reusing, it's still clutter. It'll just keep cluttering, or it'll end up in the landfill. Okay, so it's just clutter moving to another person's house. Okay, a lot of times, and when it's unusable, it'll end up in landfill. So they say buy sustainable products like stuff made out of glass that's made out of sand, metal, buy stuff that's made out of metal. Okay, it just goes back in the soil to be reused either by the earth or by the people eventually. So yeah, recycle. And so yeah, that's why I was like thinking about stuff like that. Plastic, that stuff, apparently they could make car oil or gasoline out of plastic for cars and stuff. I don't know if that's safe. I don't know what to think about that. So yeah. And then the other thing that they told me is even with the bobs on the barcodes, if you look at like to the two lines coming together, make it kind of a line in the middle. Like the blank in the middle. Okay. So that's like 3 bobs. So be careful with the barcodes. Justin's blind, so he can't even read barcodes. That's how we end up with so much Mountain Dew. And he's like, I'm not even checking. I'm just buying because I'm blind and I don't have time for that. So, anyways, it'll be on them because they're misleading a blind man down the road. Okay, so that's kind of how he sees it. I think it's how we were ministered to about it too. But yeah, so but yeah, I don't know. I don't actually see 3 like necessarily 3. It's like usually it's so muddled. It's so muddled you can't quite say that that's what that is. You see, I don't want to freak people out, but I just want to make you guys alert to it, like wake up to it, I guess. So, all right, so that was a lot. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of negativity, but I'll bring some more positivity in soon. And so I'm sorry for talking so much about the scary unseen realm, and we'll bring some more positive, happy stuff for the unseen realm in soon. So yeah. Okay, bye, love you guys.